order, please.
Hello, Uncle Bobby.
Young lady, you know some bartender is on a break, right? So why you stalking me?
Because today is your day.
But my birthday gone from in July.
Today is the day that we're going to tell you a life story inside of Bartender.
So you're going to ask questions and I bring you answers. That's how it works?
Yes.
Okay. Shoot. Not literally.
For those who are living under a rock, tell us your government name and your character in Bartender.
Robert Mannion Finzi Smith, son of Dudley and Cynthia Finzi Smith. You know me as Mullins.
So, Uncle Bobby, what is your profession?
Little bit of this, little bit of that. I'm an ex-army officer. I specialize in security. I do consulting for it. There are other means of income. We can discuss that at another time.
I want you to explain what it means to be in the field of security.
You need to be curious. Jamaican people call it fast. And you need to suspect most people of most things. And then you need to get used to the fact that sometimes you don't sleep that well because people wake you at strange hours of the night and day to ask advice or to say, help. You have to be ready to go.
Name some of the places you've been doing security work and some of the high-profile people you protected.
You don't ask easy questions, do you? Well, let's start with the fact that I've traveled to 69 different countries to do my job. Places in Africa, most of the United States, Britain, down the Eastern Caribbean, too many to mention. People I've protected. I've done 3 prime ministers. Michael Manley.
In fact, he was in full flight.
P.J. Patterson.
But a profession to which I do not intend to return.
Portia Simpson Miller.
Don't draw my tongue! And don't show me this girl! Because I don't afraid of no man, no girl, nowhere!
Outside of that sphere of influence, I've protected the Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
This is the day, this is the time, and I am the man.
Leader of the Nation of Islam. I have done protection for the head of Coca-Cola International. In the music business, I have bodyguarded Manhattans, Ray Goodman and Brown, Nina Simone, quite a lot.
Have you ever been shot in the line of duty?
Ouch. Yeah, a couple of times.
Couple of times. Alright. Have you ever been hospitalized before?
Gunshot wounds? No. Not overnight to me is not hospitalized, but I have spent more than overnight because I stopped a man from beating the hell out of his woman, and whilst I was apprehending him, she stuck an ice pick in my side and said, left my man alone. I got the point.
Okay, so, alright. Have you ever discharged your weapon in a fatal way? You can choose not to answer.
What you say the next question was?
Alright, I got the point. Let's move on to theater. How long have you been doing theatre work?
Probably longer than you have been alive. The ironic thing is, I never started out trying to do acting. I got into theatre, as you would call it. When I left Kingston College, my next stop was at the Jamaica School of Art. And Jerry Craig, God rest his soul, the principal at the time, used to send us to go and help in theatres by painting sets. So I was painting a set for a play, a children's play called Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. No, not the current ones we're dealing with. And ironically, Michael London, who you probably know of as Boise, was playing the clown. And I was painting sets. Both of us used to go to KC together. And when he was running his lines, I was teasing him and we were going back and forth. The night before it was supposed to open, his grandmother died. And him saying, not coming. And the director, Ron Harrison, was in a tizzy. He would have had to do, Michael London tall up his son broad and Ron Harrison short down some fat. And I'm trying to figure out how he's going to work this out. And some chatty. I said, Bobby, know the lines. I'm saying, oh, I mean, me and man London running it. So he looks at me and says, you know the lines? I think so. And that's how I ended up on stage.
Name a few of your outstanding projects.
Let's track back to the Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Because I got entrenched into that theatre group, I ended up doing a play for them called Sudden Guest, in which someone arrives at a house with a mother and her two daughters while it's raining and ends up having to stay over. And the mother and the daughter take set upon him. And during all of that, them put not courage, river cocoa in them clothes and they end up itching because they're trying to get him out of the house. Long story short, I won Best Actor for that season, for that role. And the ironic thing is, I have never really willingly gone and auditioned for a role. Next role that came up was Wide Sargasso Sea, which they used to use as part of the literature syllabus. And I played the part of a very unruly slave who set up a rebellion and burned down the Great House and everything. Some people say I'm typecast. And after that, I was at a lawyer's office downtown and they said to me, drop off this at Natalie Thompson's office for me. And she was uptown at that time. Because I rode bikes. So I jump on the bike, ride into Natalie's office, ask for her, say a whole heap of people, walk through a hand-dirty thing. When I was leaving, a white man says to me, excuse me, could you read this? I said, read what? I can't read. I don't need to read. You can read this what? And Natalie said, Bobby, let's beg you, let's do it for you. So I read it. It's okay, thank you. And I left. Those days you don't have cell phones. So my house phone ran about a week or two after that. And I hear this voice saying, Bobby Finzi Smith. So I said, yeah. I said, what's your shirt size and shoes? Someone said, excuse me? Why do you need to know that? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm calling from the set of Miami Vice. And I said, okay. So you've been selected. So it turns out that myself, Gary Harvey, and Carl Bradshaw had been selected to do an episode. What came out of that was that somebody said there was a similarity in body shape and thing between myself and Philip Michael Thomas. Who was one of the lead actors. So I started doing stunts. There was a time when it was only me and a guy he writes in the papers, Mr. Robinson. We used to do the stunts in Jamaica. In all, I've done about 5 feature films. And I also walked into an office called Lenny Littlewhite called to ask me if I'd do the weapons master on a program he had coming up. When I walked into the office to discuss the terms and conditions, Lady Jennifer Arman looked up and said, "See Madden there?" So I ended up being Trevor Madden on Royal Palm Estate.
Bayesian boys love Jamaican meat, you know.
Who the hell you referring to as me? Listen, my wife is no me. And you better take that back or else I'm going to shove all the teeth down your mouth.
So you're saying you went to be a weapon specialist and became a lead actor?
Yeah, strange, though. But that lasted for 20 years. And my mother, it turned out, should never have christened me. Because as that time went by, I was no longer Bobby Finzi Smith. Everywhere I went, "Madden, that wicked boy now. Why you take Sonny T money? Blah, blah, blah. Left Tiny Wine alone." As a matter of fact, there's a place in Ocho Rios called General Foods. I went in there one day to get some stuff. And while I'm going up to the counter, a little old lady touched me and said, "Excuse me, sir." So I said, "Yes, ma'am." I thought she wanted a skip. And she said, "You come on TV, don't?" I said, "Yes, mother." She said, "You come on Royal Palm?" I said, "Yes, mother." She said, "You're the one with the dead house name?" So I said, "Yes, mother." She said, "You're the police?" I said, "Yes, mother." She said, "You're for true?" I said, "Yes, mother." And she reached into her basket and take out a hard bread and start beat me.
What the hell?